Hey!
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, or good morning, depending on where in the world you guys are watching this show.
On today's show, we'll be giving you the latest info about the European Spring Tour.
We'll also be using online tools to help us start a brand new balloon business in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, we'll be gathering data for our new service area and potential customers.
We'll use that data to make informed decisions about our new business.
We have so much to share on this show.
But before that,
there's this.
we're here.
Welcome.
It's nice to see you guys in the chat, and we are going to have more of that chat messages and things that are going on just while we're getting warmed up.
Just playing around, having some fun while we're having our cup of coffee.
Cheers.
We're going for coffee today because we need it, people. We need it.
Yes.
Awesome sauce, Ella. I love that saying.
Yes.
Awesome sauce.
Ella, as well, we do appreciate all the feedback and the messages that you've been given to us, and we're going to find out the height of the columns because you asked that question.
You did.
So we will find out for you, whatever it is.
How high?
Yes, how high is a column? So on tonight's show, we do have a lot to get through, so we're going to get straight on. We want to remind you about the upcoming event happening in Milan, and I realise that I've had this page and my notes are all the way back here.
It keeps looking like you can read it, but it's not. It's a Sharpie. It's gone through all his notepad. It looks like some amazing hieroglyphs.
Yes.
Or English if you read it the right way around on the right side.
Okay, so
first up, Keith.
Let's watch a little video. So actually we can talk over this and we can tell you all about it because coming up in Milan is...
What a terrible place to go.
Absolutely, is the Balloon Art Convention Italy.
That's right. So Barci, for short, is on the 24th to the 28th of March.
And they've got instructors from all over the place, including Zoe Adams-Jones.
He's saying Zoe's from all over the place.
No, I'm saying that they've got various instructors, but one of them is Zoe Adams-Jones.
We also have Nelly and Alex Hernandez.
We've got Alberto Nava.
Jackie O.
Alessandro Patane.
Laura Sanchez.
Federico Onida.
Alberto Falconi.
And, of course, Andrea Popolino, or better known to us as
Bumblebee.
Yes, Bumblebee. If you want any more information, get yourself onto bachi.qcorner.tv, and what that's going to do is it will redirect you to the qualitex.com page.
It says the fastest, it's the highway of the internet to get you to the right place.
Yes, so we could have told you to go here, then click there and click there, but we thought we'd make it easier for you. Just get yourself to bachi.qcorner.tv and get all of the information.
Because that's what we do. We make it easy.
And there's still time to get booked up. Also, I was reading on Facebook that Frank, I don't know if he got sorted yet, but Frank is running a team from Germany and from all over the place. He's still looking for a couple of team members because due to sickness, they had a couple of people drop out.
And that's for the competition, isn't it?
Yes, for the big sculpture competition.
What a brilliant opportunity. That's a learning, building.
It was on the Qualitex Facebook group, so if you are a member of that and it is something you're interested in, I think Bram was he might have been stepping in for one of them, but there might be a slot anyway. So
it's a great opportunity, and that just a reminder to be tapped into your socials there. So check out the Qualitex Facebook page.
Okay, we've got some more information because we've got a very important spring tour coming up.
That's right. So this is the Qualitex European Spring Tour.
That's right. So 3 of the instructors that will be teaching at Barci will also be doing a jaunt across Europe.
They will. They're going their separate ways.
Yes, they are. Although 2 of them are going to one of the same place.
That's right.
Yeah, for different dates. But we've got. I better bring this one up as well for more information.
Go on, you bring that up.
I am. I've got it here.
First up, we have Alex Hernandez, and he will be in Germany for a 2-day masterclass.
That's right. He's going to be delivering marquees galore, rainbows, and more. And it's all about stuff that he's incredibly well known for. So if you know about Alex's work, which is amazing, the guy's from Mexico. He is a wizard with balloons. And yeah, if if you don't want to miss out, get
so
yourself on there.
So that's the 1st and 2nd of April.
Yes,
it
2
is the
days.
only date that he's doing, but it is for 2 days, and it'd be well worth travelling for because, as Keith said there, he's come all the way from Mexico, and he's not to be missed. I was fortunate to see him when he was in Israel at the same time, and I got very distracted watching his class instead of preparing mine.
Yes, we've been lucky enough as well that he has appeared on Q Corner a couple of times too, so you can go back and watch some older videos from him and that. Moving on,
we have Reese's mom, Jackie O.
We've got Jackie O. Everybody knows Jackie O. She's well loved within the industry. She's coming over from Canada. She will be at Barchi, and then she's off to Poland on the 31st of March.
Then off to France in Paris, I believe, for the 3rd of April.
Yeah, she's going to be delivering a class which is adorable air-filled arrangements with a twist.
Fantastic. Next up, we have the lovely Zoe Adams-Jones.
Yeah.
She's got 4 stops.
She's
busy
from
lady.
all over the place, Dom.
She's all over the place.
She's from Australia.
You can tell the flights are longer from Australia.
Yes.
Let's put this lady to work.
Absolutely.
Not to be missed, though. So first up.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Again, she's appeared on Q Corner quite a few times. She is one of our favourites. And she's going to be doing a class that is titled Inspire, Create and Share.
Sure to be fantastic. Now, she will be in Germany first, and that is on the 31st of March.
On the 2nd of April, she will be in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam.
5th of April in Ireland.
The 12th of April, she'll be in England.
Now, again, for any of these dates, same as the Barchi one, we have made it easier for you.
Yep, if you just get yourself to tour.qcorner.tv, type it in, you can go there, but not now, you're watching this.
Exactly. Hold your horses.
You can get yourself part of that tour and grab a stop that's nearest you. If there's none that's exactly near you, it's still going to be worth taking a trip to visit one of these and see them in the flesh and get hands-on with the product.
Absolutely.
But for those that cannot make it,
yes,
we have managed to actually grab hold of one of the instructors, and they're going to be in the Q Corner workshop.
That's right. Now, if you looked ahead at the schedule on the YouTube channel, you'd know what's coming.
Yes.
However, for those of you who haven't paid any attention to our upcoming streams,
or just like us to tell you all about it, Zoe is going to be in the workshop. She's going to be here it's a special because it's not on a normal Wednesday. It's actually going to be on the Thursday, the 6th of April. Now, that's right before Good Friday.
It is, yes. So that one is on the normal time.
Yes, this one is going to be 6 o'clock.
1 day later.
Now, she's going to be doing these fantastic upright marquees, as she calls them. And we've
had a great conversation with her about this already. And the information that she's already told us is fantastic. So this is there's some little gems in there straight away. So
yes.
we're set. We're watching it.
So this is on the normal Q Corner show. It's not a Rockstar one. It is normal Q Corner. So it is absolutely for everybody. However, as a bonus for our Rockstar members, she's going to be announced. So that's going to be 6 p.m. UK time on the 6th. And then at 7 p.m. UK time on the 6th, we're going to have a Rockstar special where she will be creating, I'm going to call it the organic olive tree because I think that's what it reminds me of.
That's not what you called it earlier.
I did.
He didn't. He made so many different words up that doesn't even exist.
And although it's
what colour is it in?
It's in cactus and cashmere.
That's
the
right.
New colours from Qualitex.
So that's going to be fantastic. So that will be for
chrome gold.
For the rock stars. You still have time to join up at any point before that as well. So don't forget, sign up on the channel where the subscribe is, and you get access to the whole back catalogue with that as well. So
absolutely. So for your £5 or $5 or whatever is your local currency, you get access to that webinar and the entire back catalogue.
That's right.
And it works like Netflix.
It is. It's Netflix for balloons. Now, she is in the studio as well, so if you are on the live at that point as well,
make sure you get on the live.
Yeah, you get to ask questions, show Zoe your love. Yes, it is so pretty. I can't see who that is because it's
Ella.
Thanks, Ella. Ella, you were obscured by a piece of bar in front of the screen there. I do apologise.
Yeah, my side over here is growing with monitors and pieces of bar and things, so yes.
I was really intrigued by the comment because it was a great use of the emojis.
Yeah,
we really should have
I want to. Can I push that out?
The tree won't come through. I don't. Well, you could try.
I'm going to
You know what?
try. You know what? That's worth it for that.
Do it.
Where is it? This is. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
going
do
to.
it. 'Cause I don't know if the tree's
I'm
going to
to
show.
send it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got a tree or a little bush.
Ice cream or a back of a sheep. I don't know.
One-legged sheep from behind. I don't know, but it's
Ella,
close to a tree.
Ella,
It was
we
worth
appreciate it because you know what? Best use of emojis in the chat thus
you.
far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, okay, so we're going to get on with the main event. Otherwise, we will be here talking to you guys forever, and as much as we love that,
Yes.
we're sure that you actually would like to hear our musings on starting a new business in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah,
Who
so-
knew Q Corner Balloons were going to move to Nebraska?
There is a reason, people. There is a reason.
Is it a good reason?
Well, there's two.
Okay,
One is because we picked somewhere that we knew nothing about.
that's right.
We wanted to kind of start fresh because we've had these conversations, and this is why we're sharing today. We've had these conversations with so many people in the past about, well, how do you find out this piece of information? Where would I go for this? And quite often people sort of Google searches very specific about a balloon information for a balloon business.
Yes.
And it just isn't out there.
Yeah.
That sort of very specific, off the shelf, oh, wow, that's how I open a balloon business, isn't there.
No.
But there is some really great tools that we've used in the past, and there's variants of them, and that's what we want to show and share with you today.
What we're doing is we're not saying you should be doing this or you should be doing this. All we're saying is this is the kind of thing that we do, and these are the kind of tools that are freely available to
and
you.
how we'd approach it
Yeah, yes.
to kind of get the best information. Now, we picked somewhere we didn't know about, so there was no sort of bias as to what sort of business or how we do it. And the other one is the street we found was Q Street.
Yes, it was Q Street and 44th and Q Street we were in.
So let's face it, that's why we chose
Because we went
it.
with Q Street because of Qualitex and 44 because of Dom's IQ.
I was going to say because of your age.
I know. I thought I'd get in quick. Right.
My new waistline post-COVID.
Right,
Anyway, people, right, here
let's
we go.
show you where this
We've
is.
We've got a map. Let me just...
This is Google Maps for those that aren't
Let me
used
just
to it.
update it to the location. So I'm going to zoom out so you can kind of get some
We're not
bearings.
setting up the business here, by the way, because 44th and Q Street.
It's a bus
although
stop.
It's a bus stop. Yes, there is a.
Give it a second.
Yeah, there is a residential area just by it. Because what we're actually doing is we're setting up a home-based decor business. That's the idea. It's not a retail business. This one is a home-based decor business, and we want to specialize in two things.
That's right. So one of them is for weddings,
Yep.
and the other one is for corporate. That's our key.
Yes,
key,
we want to
key
do
areas.
corporate events, corporate decor, and we want to do wedding decor. That's what we kind of.
We've decided that we're going to not do the retail type pieces or click and collect. We don't want people coming to our home base operation. We are going to travel to the event and do the setups there. That's this style of business. Now, everything that we talk about is based on what you want to do.
Yeah.
So replace it with your style of
Have
business.
a little thing if we are, can we? We can't do it, can we? With
What's
a little
that?
overlay of us on the thing.
We probably can, and if you give us a second,
I
can
will,
do that.
I will.
Right, so you explain where we are on the map, and I will
Okay,
add
we
in.
are there. See that red dot that
That's
says you
us.
are here. Mick says that we're getting closer and closer to New York City one day, I hope. Yes, we would love to.
I love New York.
So let's.
That should be
What we're doing is we're
safe
trying
there.
doing that.
And then we can go.
We're just trying to get ourselves on.
Hi,
there we go.
guys.
Look. So
Then I need to bring
where
over.
we at the moment? We're kind of over New York City-ish.
Yay!
Oh no, we're not. We're in Canada.
Oh,
there
Canada's
we
so
go.
good. Sorry, Canada.
Yeah.
I still love Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Two of my favourite
Yeah, we're
places.
just above Quebec. It looks like.
Right, so everyone's got the bearings. You know where we're at. It's not particularly important. It doesn't really matter. We've just picked somewhere to go. Yeah, you know what? That's where we're going, and we're going to use some of the tools to our advantage there. So let me
We're
go.
going to zoom back in.
I need to be on the right one though, Keith, because that'll do nothing on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Right. Okay.
Give me a second to let me update the mouse.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're going to zoom back in.
We're going into the map, people. Into the map. So here we are
We're going to find ourselves,
in our new location.
which is 44th and Q Street.
I just love.
Yeah, Q Street's actually massive in
It is.
Lincoln. We also wanted to go for a town rather than a big city.
So we've got a lot of residential around, and we've also got quite a few pockets of businesses
Yes.
there as well. We've not particularly looked for anywhere. We've just picked a sort of central zip code to that area.
It looks like Alice and Ellie are on at the moment. Yeah, we'd love to come back to Canada.
Alice and Ellie. Hello, ladies.
And Alice.
Canada.
Yes. Yes, let's get on with this.
So
So we found us. What we want to do now is we're actually going to use Google Maps as a business tool. And what we're going to do is, first of all, we are actually logged in to Google Maps. So we've got a Gmail account. You guys will have one anyway. You're watching on YouTube, so you should have a Google account.
You can do this on your own account, but sometimes for your own business, it doesn't cost anything more. Create an account that's specifically for your business, and it'll make sense as we go through this, because it keeps everything in one place that is relevant to your business, and it doesn't get kind of washed down by,
It's
Amazon orders and all the rest of it.
Confused with everything. So what we've done here is we've created a new account, which we've
got our address. We've classed this as a favorite, but you can actually add this as your home or work address as well, so it makes it easier.
So what you can do is, on your own area, if you right click,
So I'm going to do that now.
it's
Is it going to do it? Oh no, we can't do it there, Keith,
oh,
because of the way this views it.
well, that's going to be interesting.
Yes.
So how are we going to get around that?
Just because of the way we're showing you guys today as the sharing, it's not letting me do the mouse click. So give me a second,
Right.
and I will
You're going to do that, and then
do
you're going to disappear
this.
and do this over there.
put us over there.
Okay.
And see if I can resolve that for
There's
us. It's only that one as well.
There's a Team Ice Cream going on in the chat
Is it?
while we're sorting this out. Are you going to do that? Okay, I get it. Which way?
It's going to be interesting.
He's going to get it figured out. I'm just trying to think of anything else that's going on at the moment while we're just getting over this technical hitch.
It was an interesting one to throw. Over
If you haven't seen something recently, we did a new tutorial style of video, which was the frameless balloon arch. If you like that, if you comment on it or send us a message, we would really appreciate the feedback, because it is the kind of video that we're going to be producing in the future on the tutorial side, where it's less, it's not, there's none of us talking on, it's more very visual, saying it's this to this size with this piece of equipment or with this particular product. It's sped up over a lot of the inflation. However, we just want you guys' feedback is if it is something that you would like to see more of, because it is the style that we would like to do more of, because we think that it actually helps where language is a bit of a barrier. Because
like our language, Keith.
Yeah, our own language. Are we happier?
Happier. I just need to try something to see if I can.
Yes,
send
I see
you
what
it.
you're doing.
Yeah, it's all backwards. It's going to kill me.
Yeah, that's going to be some control.
If anyone knew what I had to do right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to watch on here while I tell you what. I'm
Right.
going to have a look on there while that's going on.
Right. Okay.
And then what I'm thinking about doing is shooting some messages over just to really.
Yeah.
see
So.
yes.
That looks okay. So that's.
Yeah, that works.
But that's what's live, not that. So. Just to confuse you, Keith.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get it now? Yeah. Yeah. I do apologise, people. Right. Okay. I'm going to bring the map back over. Okay.
Come on, Dom. So, Shelley.
Sorry, Shelley.
Well, you know.
Right. You should see the map now, people. And now.
Is that true?
Oh, Keith.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find us again.
Oh, don't worry about that now. Just good. Let's just do this.
Okay.
Because of
Right. Okay. So, can you see? Can everyone confirm they can see a map?
that must be so time consuming to make for you. It looks like a lot of editing for those kind of video. It is what it is.
Who needs sleep, Ma? Who needs sleep?
We try to do it in one take, or what you do is, if you want to make it look like it's in fast forward, you just have a few Red Bulls or Monsters like that and just work faster. That's.
I do believe we've got a map.
We've got a map. We
Right,
can see it.
so
We can
I'm going
see
to
it.
do what we'll stab it out.
Yes, they can see the map.
Excellent, right.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Ella. Thanks,
So,
Shelley.
Before we rudely interrupted ourselves, we have now got our location of our business. And we're going to right click on Google
Thanks,
Maps.
Ma. Thanks, Tim.
And we're going to use this option, which is called Search Nearby.
If anybody's looking on a really small screen, just to bear that in mind.
Yep.
So it's the Search Nearby. And if you right click anywhere on the map, it will search from that location, which is why it's good to make sure that you are over your home location or whatever it is.
So now at the top left, you've got the option to search that map, but it's showing you sort of in a faded text. It says search nearby, and it's given the longitude and latitude coordinates. So it's very specific. If you just did a broad search, it's going to give you the best response based on what you've typed, but not to the location. So that's why it's really important to do the search nearby. So
yes, it's also as well as that's very good point, Luke. We did locate ourselves there because we had Da Vinci's Pizza, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, and plenty of restaurants and noodles and companies. Raising Cane's Fingers, McDonald's, McAllister's Deli, Papa John's, Outback State. Yeah, yes,
okay,
we're well located.
You've got us.
We are well located.
Q Street and lots of food. All right, we understand.
We're on a winner.
Food aside, right, what is it we're looking for, Keith? What's the first thing we're going to start looking for?
We're going to look on the corporate side. So a big side for corporate work can be car dealerships, especially in America. They celebrate a lot of events across there. So we're going to do a search for car dealerships. And then what it's going to do is it will give us a list on the left-hand side.
So this is great. So on the map, it does actually highlight them as well, which is great.
Now, if you just hold it there, Dom, because when you hover over there, it's Cornhusker Motors. But right at the bottom, if you look, it's in small writing. We appreciate it. It says that it's a 6-minute drive, but it's only 1.9 miles away from our location.
Right. On the route itself, it's got the blue line highlighted. It says 6 minutes, but at the very bottom of the screen, as Keith said, it actually shows you the mileage as well. So if you've got a desire to go no further than a certain mileage, if you've got a desire to go no further than a certain time, work within that.
Yes, and the great thing is when you hover over the businesses on the left-hand side, it shows the route, it also shows the time, and it shows the mileage straight away. So you've got all of these businesses that are in our local area.
So these are straightforward, really close to us. So we can look at one, so we can just work down this list. I'm going to left-click onto the first one, and it gives us what's just the best information. We've got a photo of the actual venue itself. We've got, a 360 street view. We've got the web information for it, the full address, everything you really need to know about it. Now,
you can see straight away there that looks like a smaller dealership. Okay, so it may not be the best one for us, but it is a potential.
The key thing is it's giving you the information for you to identify, is it something that you want to be looking for? Does this fit the requirements? Is it of the size? Is it of the caliber? Are you aiming for high-end dealerships? Are you aiming for middle of the road? Or if you're just looking for a small garage, you're probably not going to get as much return on the effort you put into it. So with this information, you can go through. So for instance, let's see.
Let's go Kia. There's Kia there, the third one down.
Okay, so a main brand retailer.
Yeah, so we click on that.
So I'm going to left click. Let's open that one up. Now we're talking. So this is looking, look at this. It's got 218 photos. These are often submitted by users of Google. So that's people who are active around those locations. So that shows that this is
It's also got
hotspot.
It's got 487 reviews, high star. Okay, we're looking good. It is more the type of thing that we are looking for.
That's right. So we're going to shortlist
this one. How far was that one away?
This one is, it does tell you as well, Keith, on here, I think. Let's have a look.
There it is.
Right, 4 minutes.
Oh, right. It's 0.9 of a mile, less than a mile away.
I'll walk it.
Yes.
So this one we've identified as something that fits our criteria for our new business. So when it hit the save button here, on there we can add it to a list. Now we've already got some lists in. We've got prospects, wedding venues, event venues,
and these are lists that we've already created for time, but we're going to create ourselves a new list.
The first ones with the icons there are done by Google. These ones we've added ourselves.
Yeah.
But we're going to do a new list, and this one's going to be for
car dealer.
Oh, dealers.
Or for American auto dealers.
Hit create. Now you can see that that's saving, and it's now saved. So it's got the slightly different coloured icon, and that's now within that list. That's brilliant. If you want, and you've done it by accident, you can just press that again, and you can just remove it from there and add it to a different one. But you've got the option to move it. You can even add it to multiple lists, but we're going to put it into car dealers, so that one's done. We can carry on going through the list to see what it finds. However, we found with a few of them, because of the way dealerships are named, you don't always find.
If you do search for car dealers, you don't find all your car dealers, especially the main ones.
Yeah, so we actually were looking for some of the big names. So Ford dealership. Now, we did.
We've got Anderson Ford Lincoln, which is, what's that, 6.3 miles away. Great, that's only 15 minutes. It's within, we said, a 10-mile radius ideally, because that takes us just outside of Lincoln town.
And what we noticed actually on this map, so we're quite central here, but actually the Ford dealership, they seem to have got one that's at the top side of the map here, but then they've also got one at the bottom. So they're into sort of two areas either side. So they're really trying to cover their bases. But what we did, and we know this because we've looked earlier, so where that Ford dealership is, we actually had a little zoom in. Now, very typically, and this seems to be for UK, Europe and the US,
yes,
dealerships tend to congregate in the same areas.
Yes, so if you've got one big dealer, one main dealer, you tend to have a few of them in the same place. So once you've found a decent one, like Ford, you can just zoom in to the map.
You're
going to switch it to map on itself.
View.
And then we're going to zoom in where the Anderson Ford's dealer is.
So we've got the Q satellite zooming in live.
Yeah.
Wave everybody.
And then on there, you can see that you have, we can see BMW.
We've got Jeep. We've got Mazda. We have an auto superstore that looks of a good size as well.
BMW, Mercedes-Benz. You've got
Husker Automotive Car Dealership as well. Not sure what that one is, but looks like it's.
But we can check it out.
Multiple ones. So let's just select that one to see what it tells us about it. Chevrolet.
Chevy, there we go.
Great. So, you know, just finding one or two. So hit the big names, you know, Ford, Mercedes,
Chevy,
BMW, Chevrolet.
Yeah. And then add them, keep on. So we're going to save
like that one.
We're going to save that and add it to our car dealers.
Car dealerships, that one's in.
And then we're going to do Mercedes-Benz and
that one. Let's have a look, see if that hits the criteria. Yep. That's looking good. We've got multiple photos. You can check out the website directly if you want. We're not going to go into that much detail. If this was a real prospect, we'd spend a little bit more time vetting them to make sure that they fit the criteria of what it is that we're looking for. So you can see very easily, you can go through the map within a radius of where you are and find things that suits you. Now, once you've gone through those and you've added the ones that you want, to access those lists is you go to the classic hamburger menu. See,
yes.
Food again, Keith.
Yeah, hamburger menu.
So we go up to there, and very conveniently, right at the top, it's got your places.
Click on your places, and it brings up your favorites. It brings up your starred places, but it brings up your lists. So we can go with our car dealers, and what it does is it zooms it to the level that shows all of the car dealers that we have.
In this case, 3 all on the map.
Yeah, and they're all there ready for the information. Now, the great thing with this is that we can also add notes.
Oh, sorry, it was this great thing as well. But yeah, so we've got two great things.
Yeah, so if you go onto there, there's on the left-hand side it says add note. So we can say that, you know, that Dave, let's say Dave is the manager. We find, because we talk to them, and we also have a meeting with him on a certain date, or his email address is this, or we've sent an email, we've dropped off some leaflets, but whatever you want to do with the notes, it could be that they don't like helium balloons, and you just keep this as a fantastic notes that you have saved with all these locations that you're currently working with.
Yep. And this is all private to your login on Google. You can have it that's got great high ceilings, 10 foot high. You could have some of your preliminary site visit done. This is the things that you're thinking of showing. Also, as well, what we like on this one is not everyone works on their own. They might have multiple people that work in their business. So you could identify these and use the share option. The share option means you can actually share this link, which is a link to all of those locations.
With your notes on as well.
To a business partner, someone you work with.
That's right. It's private notes. As long as you keep that list private, it is private. And it's if you share that list,
so you have three options.
If you share the list with anybody else, it's still private. But yes. Am I the only one getting butterflies trying to figure out how to book these type of corporate clients? Okay. Well, we'll give you some help with that in a moment, Ella.
Yes.
So
that's the list. You can add away. Now we've got it as car dealerships. We've got prospects because as part of our business model, we're looking at contacting some corporate customers. Now this can range from businesses such as banks and other corporate offices that we've just done a general search for offices, office buildings, banks.
Also shopping centres, retail outlets, where you have big businesses that do have events. So sometimes it's just an office that, so it might be, right, okay, they do a Christmas party or they do a 4th of July or whatever they do, and they might do specialised events, which we'll talk about in a short while. But it might not be. It might be ones that do, it could be a big retail outlet that does events all the time or likes to have an arch outside all of the time to attract. It's, but you can classify them yourselves.
That's why we love the list, because you might find that you target the fast food chains and they like a certain type of decor that's different to a Christmas event party. So if you group them into a list that's more specific to that type of business, it means when you're looking to generate some business, you can put together a proposal, a plan of attack, how are you going to contact them, and perhaps what you're going to show or send that's going to go to that specific list of companies. It's not a one size fits all.
Yes, you could have you could have a 3-step kind of action plan that you say, right, okay, first contact I do it this way, second contact I add in the details this way, third contact we create the relationship. It depends on which process you like to follow. The 3 contact one works for us, so we broach the subject, then we reinforce it, and then we make the contact. And it works for a lot of the time. So but you can have yourself at what stage you are and your notes. You can put that and say, right, I've done this, step 1 complete, step 2 complete, and now I've got a name and a contact, a direct contact, and then a 3, and we've got relationships going on.
Now, we're not suggesting that you're using the Google Maps and the notes and the lists for your long-term business, customer management system. This is at the prospect and identification stage. So
it's also really good for making routes as well, because of you've got the Google Maps in there straight away. It's for doing delivery routes and things.
You can take them from this to become a customer into whatever system that you use to digest and maintain their history of purchases and everything else. But what you could do then is confirm them up into a customer list of all your customers, because then you can add them onto a route. We've done this in the past with multiple customers, and we're trying to get the most optimized route for a delivery. So you could separate them up according to where they are.
Especially, if it's a seasonal thing like Valentine's, and you want to do a lot of Valentine's stuff out. Okay, it's like, right, on the Tuesday before Valentine's, I'm going to be covering this area and just working in this area, and then on the Wednesday I'm going to be working on this area. It's however you want to do it. You use the information, but we've got another list on there.
So one of the other things that you can do, especially if you do manage to say get a portfolio of car dealerships as an example, you might have 10 dealerships, but what you would offer those dealerships is the install dates. Yes. You would say, for your business in your area, I do installs on a Monday and Tuesday. For the other businesses at the other side of town, you're doing them on the Wednesday and Thursday. So you're splitting up your delivery days, and that's what you're offering to the business. You're giving them and guiding them to make it fit in with what you want to do. So what's Mark saying?
I was saying
Yes.
that remember how you explained how to do the customer routes in a past video? It's so great to have those routes ready to be added. Thanks for sharing. You are more than welcome. It's a really useful tool that we still use.
It is, and just move them from a prospect to a customer list at a later date, which is great. You can do that really easily when you've actually got. I'll bring one up now. So we've got a prospect. Okay, this is a bank building. Okay. Yeah. So we've got it, we're looking at it, and you can see already that it's saved. If I select that, it's in our prospects, but let's put it into a new list, and we'll call this one our customer banks. Okay, in it goes, and we'll create that. So now it's saved in there, and you can see that it's saved in two. So it's in prospects and it's in customer banks. Now, if we want it out of prospects to move it across, we just remove it from prospects. It's now there.
So simple.
It's done. So we can move things around, and instead of having to sort of re-add it, it's great, brilliant tool, and it just gives that information in one place whilst we're trying to establish are these a good customer for us. And Google's done most of it for us because it's all there. Got photos, you can see what it's like, you can see your access, you can see how long it'll take to get there, and a good idea of what the business is about.
The other thing that we did while we were there is we had a look and we did a search for wedding venues. So if we go to our wedding venues list, because we want to find out if there's enough business in the area, and we made a section on there. There was actually over 20 wedding venues within, I think it was something like a 10 to 12 minute drive of where we're based on this business.
Yeah.
So when you got that many kind of venues that you're
it's a really good indicator. So you could do a lot of market research to find out about if people are getting married. Now, we've got some stats, and we'll show you where we get those stats from. But the real big indicator is if it can sustain 15, 20, 35 venues that are specifically targeting.
And these are the ones
weddings.
that were specifically targeting weddings, because we've also got a separate one for event venues. But these are the ones that are really pushing for the wedding side.
They are very, very much targeted in their literature and their website to being a wedding venue. And that's great. So we've put them in there as a wedding venue, and we'll treat them accordingly.
So we go back to normal now, can we? Because we've kind of finished with the Google.
We have, yeah. So let me come over to this one, because the other ones should work fine, Keith. So let me just, I'm in backside mouse.
Need to cut across there, yeah?
Oh, I'll get it. There we go.
Yeah, we're back.
Then,
see, we went hiding.
There we go.
Oh.
That's awful. It's upside down, back to front.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Yes, you need to get that off that second one.
Feels like I'm being thick.
Right, okay, yeah, we're going to be going to that one next. So what we wanted to do, especially for our corporate customers, is, like we were saying, is how do you approach? You can use the three-step method, but you need to know when to approach your customers, the corporate customers, because the corporate customers, as a general rule, they've got money, but they don't have time. Yeah, so they are the not poor.
Got to make it easy for them
on the money side, but they are very time poor. So you've got to make it easy for them and come in at the right time. You're not looking for if you come in months and months in advance, it's not
a lot of the times as a small business, we tend to be more hand to mouth. So, Valentine's is coming up. So just before Valentine's, we're thinking as a small business, right, let's do some Valentine's decor. Let's try and get all of these businesses to buy Valentine's decor off us.
Yeah.
But they're already booked. They already know what they're doing. They've spent their budget on something else at that point. So we need to approach them earlier.
Yeah.
Now, it is going to be a little bit of trial and error approaching these businesses to try and find out when it is they're looking. So one of our suggestions is identifying. Now, we've got a site here for the US one, and there is other sites out there that help you do this. And this is showing different events that are across the year. So this is to remove the objection.
Yes.
So if we were, let's say, a car dealership, for instance, to go into a car dealership and say, hey, we want to try and sell you some St. Patrick's Day decor, they're probably going to close us down by saying, you're too early or you're too late.
Yes.
Because that's the quickest way to close someone down.
Yeah.
However, if we go there saying that we are a full season business, we can offer decor for every season. This is some of the seasons
that we
do and can share. Let me run through some examples for you. They can't say it's too early or too late because one of those seasons is going to hit.
And the thing is, as well, is if they are going to shut you down by saying something like it's too early or it's too late or we don't do that event or whatever, the question is you can prepare you can make a customer for the future, and you say, oh, okay, when would you normally be looking at booking your Easter there?
Yes.
And then put it on your notes, straight in on your notes, and go, right, okay, I know that I'm going to contact them just before this date.
We're going to do this.
And you can arrange it with them. You can talk to them and say, look, I'm going to contact you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they say no, whether you don't want to be the pushy salesman, but usually they will say yes. Yeah. And then you come back and you make good on your word, and you make that customer for the future.
One of the things that we've done very specifically, we've probably mentioned it before, for car dealerships, because we actually found that was the hardest one for us to get into. So we approached it slightly differently, and we were just a little bit cheeky.
What we did was we went to one of the smaller dealerships in our area.
Now, we didn't go to the one we wanted.
No.
We went to another one
Yes.
to use them to springboard us into somebody else.
Yes. So what we did was we went into them and we said...
We weren't selling anything.
No, we were not. We were not. We just said that we are a local balloon decor company. And what we're looking to do is... you guys have got a fantastic showroom.
Compliments.
Yeah. We would love to come in and give you some decor.
It's all we want.
Yeah.
In return, we'd like to take some photographs. So we'll take some photographs of
because your place is beautiful. The cars are fantastic, immaculate.
It's great stuff.
We want to do this.
We'll share the photos with you if you want them as well. You're happy to have them, but we just need to use them for some of our marketing. So we've got your dealership in there with our balloons, just so we can use it because it looks great.
And then what we do is we get them to sign a contract, and the contract has the value of how much the balloon decor would have been, and it's discounted to zero on there, and then it's signed off by both parties, so everybody understands what's going on. There's still a contract in place, but it's free.
Fundamentally, they are seeing the value of what it is that we've given them, so they've got a price without sort of being told the price.
Yes.
We took our photos, brilliant. Now, two things come from this. One is potentially, which is in this case, they were like, oh, we're now interested.
Because the customers gave good reactions to the balloons. Everybody was up and lifted by it, so that they became a customer and actually came back. They already knew how much the balloons were worth.
Yep.
So they came on board as a customer. So that was great.
And that was a secondary win. That
wasn't what we were aiming for.
No, we were using them so we could then use those photos when we walk into another car dealership to say, hey, do you know that some of your competitors are using our balloons to do this?
Yeah, it's like we would like to do these. They can see that it's photos of their competitors, because we don't have to go in and go, your competitors are using us, so you better. It's more of a, look, we can do things like this. This is something that we've installed locally.
Real life examples of balloons with vehicles in a facility that's similar to theirs, so they really understand what they're going to get.
Now, obviously, they don't know that the other company hasn't paid anything for the balloons, that it was done as a deal for them. But so what they automatically say is the other company thinks it was worthwhile buying balloons.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's better. It's more of a confidence thing. Right?
Yeah. So sometimes it's just been a little bit cheeky with some of the offers. We've done a pretend delivery to a maternity ward when we're trying to push some of our new baby designs.
Yeah.
I know that it's not relative for the
America.
decor and the
America, because balloons are banned.
No, but it's sort of, we've done a fake birthday delivery to a call center to kind of promote people seeing balloons. So sometimes you have to think a little bit outside the box to get your balloons there rather than
noticed.
Yeah,
notice is the big thing.
Rather than being that hard salesman. Now, you could use that same example for something like any of the fast food chains, for instance. If you wanted to go, hey, you've got a fantastic restaurant. I'd love to be able to do an arch. I'd love to be able to do columns outside.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's 4th of July and things. We'd like to do this arch or whatever.
Can I do this for you? All I want in return is to have some photographs. Again, have that signed contract so they know what they're getting. So let's say, for instance, it's on frames, but they're getting the decor for free, but the frames still belong to you.
Yeah.
So it's a standard contract as normal.
It's just been zeroed
However,
down.
It's down to zero.
Yeah.
They know what they're getting. This is great. It's a win for them because they're getting free decor. And for us, it costs us some balloons, yes, but that now markets us to the potential of another 20, 30 different restaurants that could take that decor.
There's a question there about car dealerships. Do you only decorate the inside of the showroom? Yes, we live in the northeast of England.
Yes, we do, inside.
So if if the dealers do want an outside arch, we have it as a bad weather policy within our contract, and we give them all the suggestions and everything that's involved with that to say yes, we will do it, and as long as it's okay on the day, we will put the arch up or we will put the columns up or whatever. But we also have a backup plan to say if the weather's not okay for us to do it, we need a secondary location that's inside, and we'll do it there instead.
A great sort of spin-off for decor for dealerships would be like Luke's webinar, the yard art.
Yard art would works really well.
So we've got it on the channel, Yard Art with Luke.
If you're a rock star, you can watch it for free. It's part of that. So.
Yeah. So thanks, Mar, for sharing that one. I think that's for
the route. It's
the
for
route one.
The customer route. Yeah.
So the
Thank
Yard
you so
Art
much.
would, although the decor that Luke's doing isn't for car dealerships, the concept and the build is very much really good outside decor. That's good for most weathers, really.
Yes. And also as well as that you don't mind if you don't get your sticks back.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's
okay.
That's for the win.
So,
so the occasions we were talking about.
The occasions, yes. So we have we did some search. You can Google search lots of different things, but this is an easy one that we found, and it was basically the 17 most celebrated occasions in America. They're not in date order. Although they mostly are. There's a couple of them that jump backwards and forwards.
Yeah, we're not going to go through them in detail because
I
think most of it speaks for itself. But the point being is on this particular list, it covers I think all but 1 month for the year.
Yeah.
I think there's only August that doesn't have something in it.
Yeah.
So you can put yourself together, iPad, digital portfolio or physical, whatever suits you, a sort of a running order of the year. I jumped there, of going, these are the kind of events that I can cover.
Yeah.
This is the sort of...
And this is when I want to be approaching businesses.
Yeah. And talk to them about putting a diary entry in of saying, when can I come and speak to you?
Yeah, when would you be looking to do this?
And actually, with a visit, you don't have to do a visit per one. A lot of these companies would happily, you go in once, twice, 3 times a year and booking these in advance.
Yeah, with a couple of our corporate customers now, that we already have dates that we know that they like to book at this time. It was the August one was, Tim, well done for August back to school. It was just on that particular website. There was only 1 month they didn't have.
Yeah, and that's it. And what the key point there is finding something to really smooth out your calendar for events.
Yeah, so make the seasonal work less seasonal.
That's right. So one of the key factors to this model was weddings.
Yes.
Now, weddings has a particular season. Now, we do have another site to share for that one as well.
Yes, we do. So this is where you can really start get yourself into the demographics. But first of all was the seasons. That's the one. So in the US, generally the wedding season is between June and September. It does change from place to place, so you need to find out what it is for your particular area and your particular part of that country, because America is so vast that its seasons different. And in fact, we did a little bit of a search on specifically for Nebraska, because although America says that it's June to September, Nebraska's has a funny wedding season, which is actually September, October.
Now, I don't imagine it's unique to them guys. I bet there's other ones that do this as well, but this is down to football.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the American football season that they follow, and it causes events to happen. More weddings happen in September and October rather than the normal June, July, August to September.
Something to take note of is when you're looking for information, try and find multiple points. So we search for wedding seasons in the US. Then we search for wedding seasons in specific areas to see how that's very different. The third layer to that is actually now reaching out to some of the wedding venues and talking to them directly.
Yes.
And actually speaking, when do you find your busiest time? When do they have any wedding fairs or shows that you could be part of? Is there some way you could help them to help you? And try and reach out to 1 or 2 at a time at the beginning, because you will learn so much from those first 1 to 2 conversations.
Yeah, we've also talked about this before regarding the wedding side. When we used to do a lot of weddings, we would go into all of our local venues and introduce ourselves and find out the wedding coordinators for each venue, and also a couple of key areas that things happen. Talk to the wedding coordinators, find out where, if they do the ceremony on site, where that would be, where do they normally have the cake, all this kind of thing, and then make notes.
Yeah,
and then again add it to it. So when you're talking to the customer and you can say, okay, all right, it's Georgia. Georgia's the wedding coordinator at this particular venue.
Sells you so much when you can say by name.
You say, okay, you which venue are you at? You're going to be at that venue. When you're talking to the bride and you say, I'm using this venue, and you say, okay, is that Georgia? Georgia, the wedding coordinator, is there?
We don't remember this. You look at our note before we talk to them. A very good one for us was names of rooms.
Yeah.
It's amazing how quickly a bride will be on board when you tell them a little bit about the room. That's this suite.
Because they want confidence, right? They want to know that you're not going to mess up their most important day.
Absolutely.
So the more confidence they have in you, the easier that you make it for them.
One of the things that we asked as standard when we spoke to the venue, and now this is something you would always get incorrect from the person booking it, was access times. They would tell you what they believed to be the case, but specific to us, we need to know when we can go into that venue, what time we'd have access from. Each venue has its own quirks for access. Speaking to the wedding coordinator and the venue directly, we got a really good relationship with access times. And again, talking to the bride and groom, saying, don't worry, we'll talk directly with the venue. We know them well. We'll take care of that.
Yes.
Because we know that better than they do, because we've been to that venue before, and we haven't. We've built a relationship up, so we know what the access is like, because that was such a big thing in the early days where we were taking a booking and then actually the access wasn't there. So we were delivering at the, it was awkward.
It also, as well as if you know your access times for it, it also allows you to understand what's possible and what's not possible at times. So if they want a massive organic bespoke installation and things, but you know that actually the event starts at 10 a.m., but you're never able to get in there the day before, and you can only get in there from 9 o'clock after the cleaners have been in from the night before and things. You know that it's not going to work. So knowing all of this information,
exactly. There's some real gems. We had one venue that was terrible for access in the morning. However, we were allowed to deliver the day before into a different room that wasn't used over the weekend, and we had full access to that all of the time.
Yes. So it means that we could get on site, we can build what we needed to do, and just have it so that it was ready to go through that doorway, through around the corner, and into exactly where we wanted to install. So it also allowed us to say, right, we're not going to make this, but we will going to make this, and
this is what works. And to take out all of those problems that you have when you're doing something for a customer, you've said you'll do it, but then it becomes a problem on the day that ruins your schedule. So again, it all goes back to using those lists, having the documented notes for the venues and the businesses and all of that information, so it makes it easier. If like sometimes restaurants, they change hands, as in, they might get a new manager in, but you can go to that new manager and go, I was dealing with previous manager, and this is some of the things that we didn't discuss, and it's just that continuity of information. If you hold that, it's amazing how much confidence someone has in you to just be invested and go, okay, these guys know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Let's move it forward.
Okay, back to tools. So we used to use a website called Free Map Tools. It was one of our, that was the one.
This was our go-to.
This was indeed our go-to tools for demographic information, and it was very powerful. It allows to look population by areas, and you can drop pins. Will it work?
Yeah, it will.
Okay, so you can drop a pin, you can increase your radius, and you can say, right, okay, I've got so many people living in this area, and it was a fantastic tool.
So you've got a circle there, we just draw a little radius, it'll show you the size, and then once you've done that, you can also, if it's not quite in the right place, you can move it around, change its size. We'll have that, and then you can use it underneath here. I'll have to slide that down, and you can get it to find the population. So this is really good for giving you how many people are in a given area. You can also draw a different shape. It doesn't have to be a radius, but it gives you a good idea of how many people are in that area.
However, there's some things that are no longer supported on there. It's still good as a general thing. However, what we found is there's some better websites that are out there now. There's two with the two main ones that we have, there's one for the UK, which we'll briefly show, because we're going to use the American one. It's called postcodearea.co.uk. We've actually put links to all of the websites that we've been using in the description already. So if you want to, you can click on them and go that way. But this is great for anybody in the UK because it gives you tons of demographic information for each area.
So I'm just going to ads. It is how it's powered.
Yes.
So this one we've just got for our area, Newcastle upon Tyne, and we've got the NE1 postcode. So it works like zip codes. It's done into sort of areas and sectors. And this is the breakdown of all those postcodes here. So let's go NE1. And then it's got an overview of various demographics, which is brilliant. So it's got the total population in that sector. It's got how many households, unemployment, and average income. You can then drill down into individual parts of that postcode as well if you want.
But have a play with it. Go on with it. Have a play with it. If you do have any questions, come back to us and ask, and we'll more than happily answer.
There's a lot of information there, and for people in the UK, it'll make a lot of sense. Just drill down into the postcodes you're looking for. Tons of information, but we're not going to dwell on that too much because that's very specifically for
the UK.
The UK.
Now, if you are in the US, there's a different one, and to be fair, there's different versions of this tool. No matter where you are in the world, there's kind of a version of it for you. Now, the one that we use for the US is mapszipcode.com.
So let's go over to that one, Keith. Update that one. So we've actually got this one. This is on the zip code of the area that we've put our imaginary business. And then on that one here, I'll actually bring up the other one as well to show you that one, the wider view. I'll bring that one over here. So this is the wider area. This is the same website, and we've just put in an area. So it's got the Lincoln area, and it's showing the zip code sectors for where we're working. So the one we're in is the, let me zoom in, this one over here. I can't see it because my eyes are too weak. 68503. So I've got that one opened up, and that is on this screen here. So it shows you, and it's got it outlined there, the sector. So we're over here, the bottom right hand side of that, and this is our zip code. Now in that zip code, it's going to give you straight away the population, the density, the sort of home value and rent. So it's got some information there already, but you can also see further information on this as well. So you can have a look at it. You can also compare. But the first one we're going to do is I'm going to click on this one. So we've got the population, and then we've got a breakdown of that, which is great. So we've got the average age of males and females. We've got different ethnicities, and it shows you the numbers for that as well. So that's really good. So if you've got a specific type of business that you want to say, I don't know, a type of, let's say we're pushing communions, or we're doing more christenings, or we're doing whatever flavor of balloons that you're doing, you've got, there's no point in doing it if you haven't got the right target customer there.
Absolutely.
One of the ones that we look for, and I'll actually throw that up very quickly, is something that we did this for babies for a previous class a few years ago, looking at sort of demographics of babies. But for weddings,
so this is another website, which is statista.com. Again, the link's in the description.
We asked the question, at what age in the US are people getting married? Now, now our sort of go-to age is not the case anymore, because actually that was more around when in the sort of 2007 2008, where it was a younger age, but now it's actually moved all the way up to
it's gone up by on average it's gone up by about 3 years or something like that.
So 28 for women and 30 for males. So the age that people are getting married is around the sort of late 20s, early 30s.
Yes,
that's great, because then now we know
who's our target.
Who's our target audience.
And also when are they looking to arrange that wedding as well. Generally people organize it about a year out. So that means that the lady is actually going to be around 27
when she's actually looking actively to be booking a wedding. So with that,
well, actually, no, she's been booking it since she was like 12.
This
but that's
true.
Besides the point.
What is it? Dress, venue, then groom.
Groom's way down the list of organising.
Quite interestingly, on this one, we've got a married couples is only at 60%.
Yes.
And the age for that area, if I scroll back up, I can't remember it was. I think that was actually the right sort of age as well. But yeah, so
There we go.
27 and 26. So actually, the area we're in is actually
Now, bear in mind,
pretty
this
good.
is an average as well. So you're going to get higher, you're going to get lower. But on the average, we're talking still, it's a kind of around that sweet spot. And it's lower than average for the area. Because if we can compare those.
Yeah, so let me scroll all the way down the bottom. This is a great tool on this website. We love this. So you can actually manually put in
Zip codes.
You can also go and look at different ones specifically, or you can use this great tool or compare zip codes to other nearby zip codes. And what it does is it takes the adjacent and next to postcodes
And it automatically puts them in.
So we've got,
shows you on the map.
let me bring this up so we can see it. We've got the one we've been working on, and it's picked out the other ones, which is brilliant. So now if you scroll down, we can see an overview of the 4 different zip codes that we've been looking at. Now, let's look for that marriage one, Keith. Married couples. So actually, in these 4 zip codes around us, 68%, 62%, 65%, and 72%.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That means there's like 30% in those areas that's available. Now, we did also look on another site for statistics of how many people get married each year.
Yes.
Now, on average in the US, it's 6 in every 1,000 people are getting married.
So if you have...
So look at your population.
Exactly. If you have 10,000 people in one area, it means that 60 people are getting married, right?
So that's 60 married every year. So looking at the zip codes just around us, which is only a few miles around us, Keith, we've got 30, 40, 50, 60, almost 100,000 people.
Yes.
So that means 600.
You're getting 600 weddings a year in that, just within those 4 zip codes in that area. Yeah.
So that's telling us we've got, I know we've only listed 10, but we had 25 plus active wedding venues within a very close proximity to our business. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
We have potential of 600 weddings per year as the national US average. But we've got a good population.
But that's on the average, not in an area. That's just on average. But if we are targeting areas that are in the sweet spot for ages that they're actually getting married.
Now, we've actually looked at some of the areas, the further out of some of the cities you go, we've found that you tend to find a higher age.
Yes.
Higher percentage of married people. And there is higher income, but it's not the right income for us because they're already married. They've got young families, not established families, which will be retired because the age is wrong. So what we're saying there is, if you look at the area and you see that the age is very high, you might find that they've got grandkids that are in the retirement age. So you've really got wedding age, yes.
We've got grandkids on the retirement age.
Really old, yeah. So you look through those stats, and you can really get some very interesting information also about school, the caliber of qualification, the household income. We did actually find with those ones that the household income was actually lower than some of the averages.
Yeah, and there's a reason.
And we questioned this.
Yeah, because we were like, okay, it's lower than the average for the area, or whatever. And then when we drilled into the information, we found out there was actually more 1-bedroom apartments.
Well, 2 bits of information. If you look down the stats, you'll see that it breaks them down by 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, so on. The 1-bedrooms were higher than most.
Yes.
And then also when you look at owned versus rented, rented was the highest.
Yes. So what it was is that people were living individually, and then when they get married, they're generally moving in together to increase that. So it means that the household income doubles practically.
And it puts it right in the sweet spot of the medium to high salary for that area.
Yes.
So it's really good disposable income at the right age for looking to get married, and in an area that supports very well a lot of venues to get married in.
Now, luckily on our stats, we are pretty much right in the sweet spot for the lower area. The age and the marriage area for the amount of married people. However, what we would do is, if we weren't, so say for instance we were here and actually that pocket was somewhere away from us, if we were doing targeted advertising, we would actually be targeting that area without direct marketing, whether it's directed through social media, which you can now direct and say, I'm looking for people in this area, or whether it's you're looking for people of a certain age.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be looking. So, for instance, on our example, we've got a few good wedding venues. Now, we would target the wedding venue specifically by
Yes.
talking to them directly and working with them, as in whatever events that they're doing. Let's see how we can support each other. But actually, the area around that wedding venue isn't where the customers are.
No.
Customers are traveling to that
That's
for
right.
the event.
Yeah.
We are looking for those customers in the zip code, wherever that may be. Fortunately, for this example, it is close by, but that's where we would be addressing our social media adverts,
Yes.
because, as you say, we can target those. We'd also be looking for other avenues in that area. How can we do it? Do you want to do physical mail shots? Do you want to do email? Is there email lists available to
Yes.
buy for that type of customer in that type of area?
And the other thing as well is when to do it. When are you going to target, and when are you going to target that advertising? Because balloon decor especially is one of the later things. It's one of the last minute things pretty much. So it means that if people are getting married in June to September, which is the normal wedding season, you're going to be spring is the great time. That's when people are looking to book the your weddings. So spring. That's why when you do wedding fairs, there's a lot of wedding fairs happen around springtime, because that's when people are diving in to actually book them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just look at the question: how are you direct targets
On social media?
Yeah. So when just so I'm understanding, so when we create an actual advert on something like Facebook, you can tell it what age group you want it to be to.
You can say just this area, or they've got these interests, or
they're talking about this, using these sort of words, so you can really be quite specific,
very specific,
as to how you direct that advert. Now, depending on how specific you are, does change the cost, but obviously the return on that investment is associated. The other thing as well is it will give you an idea of roughly how many people would fit that criteria. One of the things that you want to make sure, though, is you understand the relationship between that advert and getting a customer. So have something specific on that advert.
Yes.
Have a call to action for the customer. And if there isn't, make sure that you speak to your customers to say, how did you find out about me? What got you to call me or fill in that form, or whatever it was? What got you to do that? So you can really see your own value in the targeted advertising that you're doing.
So, and it could be that if you're doing it as a special offer or something, that you create a special email for it. So another handy thing with Gmail, although we much prefer that if you're a business that's, Q Balloons, whatever, that you have a website that says Q Balloons. It's not Q Balloons at Gmail as a general thing. However, the Gmail, if you do use Gmail, there's a great thing that you can do, whereas you can add the subject at the beginning. So say, for instance, if you are, let's say, qcorner@gmail.com, you could add Q Corner plus wedding fair at gmail.com.
It's the plus symbol.
Yes.
And whatever you put after that plus symbol, could be any word, it doesn't matter. That gives you another unique email, but you access it via your normal email.
Yes, but it separates them. So it means that you can see, if you're putting a leaflet out that has a special offer, or you want to see what return
could be Facebook
from it.
It could be Q Corner plus Facebook@gmail.com.
Yeah.
When that email comes in from that route, you'll see it's grouped, and it also shows you the two.
Yes.
And you can see where it's come from. So it's really good. It's a very basic way of doing tracking.
Yeah.
Now, if you are the next level up from that, and you are already doing your own domain URL, then don't go back over and use that facility. There's other trackers available. You can use the likes of MailChimp and other email platforms to track where that mail's coming from.
It's even the things like we did, like for instance, when we do the URL that we were directing you to the tour.qcorner.tv or bachi.qcorner.tv, you can do the same thing as by creating a subdomain, so it still has the main domain in there that emails can come into. for your marketing.
It's just trying to keep it as simple as possible for your customers. So if you do have your own website and you do own your own domain, most providers of web space and domain providers will give you what's called a subdomain, and that's a word that you put before the normal URL. And you normally have access to many of those. They'll give you a limit. It could be 100, it could be 1,000. And you could just put wedding.ballooncompany.com. And it just means that takes them to a very specific page. It could even be an email. It could be anything that it bounces it to. So you can
but
have
it's trackable, because if you send them to a website that has that subdomain, you can use your Google tracking to see how much traffic's coming through, and also where your final, so for instance, our final website, it will say where the traffic's coming in from. So if it's redirecting it from your new one that you just made, the subdomain, it'll say that you've had so many hits from this source.
Yeah. Now, this is obviously a subject that we can go off in a massive tangent on, because we love it. But the kind of the simple one is, if you don't have anything specific set up, using that Gmail trick is a bit of a winner, just to track that through. But you could try lots of different types of advertising, and the only way to know that it works for you is tracking the results. Now, statistically in the UK, leaflet distribution, where it's somebody went door to door and put a leaflet through the door, was pretty poor stats.
Yeah, it was very, very low.
However, we did it and tried it once, but we recorded the results, and it was great for us as a business.
Yeah, it was something like 7 or 8 times the national average on the return, which was great, and it caused us to do a lot more direct marketing.
Yeah. If we followed the stats on it, we would have stopped it. But because we followed our own stats, we said this is value for us and it works. Because we recorded the return on it, it made sense to us.
Exactly. We're able. You've got to be able to measure whatever you're putting into. You've got to be able to measure what you get out of it. Otherwise, you're just kind of guessing every time.
It's measuring your success, and that you know. For instance, we did a wedding fair. And we did the wedding fair, and we had a cost associated with it. And then we looked at the jobs that we got. Now, this is a really good example of advertising in the wrong area.
Yes.
We did a wedding fair that was right on the edge of where we're prepared to travel, but we picked up customers on a radius from that wedding fair, which took us in excess of
it took us into Scotland. That's it. We did some stuff in Scotland.
We did a lot of miles, people.
Yeah.
So that taught us about, well, actually, if we advertise in the right area, we'll get the customers that we want to deliver to. So that was a big learning curve for us. But what we did is we looked at the return. How many customers did we get? What was the value of those? And was that wedding fair worth it? In the long run, that one, no, because we were traveling too far, took too much time. So we did, and we picked up wedding fairs that were more appropriate to where we wanted to work.
Also, as well as that, we went specifically to that one because it was the biggest one in the area, and it had a lot of kudos that came with that wedding fair. So we thought we had to be there because we were doing like all of this custom work and bespoke work. So we automatically thought this is definitely the wedding venue for us.
Success can be measured in different ways, though, as well, because actually we did get a job off the back of that because of the kudos that it did bring. That was with a company that was in more local to us, that then gave us more. So if you follow the train of what you've done, actually it was successful.
It was overall,
in a very roundabout way.
It was more to do with servicing the customers as well, because we have the thing of it's much harder to find a customer than it is to keep a customer. So if you found the customer, basically, if you service the customer correctly, treat them correctly with the right level, provide a quality service at a respectable price, and with a smile, it means that you've got the best chance of keeping that customer and having the return. And
a really good example of this is we have a customer that's been a long time customer, and we've always looked after them. Now they have been approached. They probably get approached monthly. And the pitch to them now is so blunt, that is, whatever they're doing, we'll do it cheaper and do more. That's the sales approach from other companies trying to get this job, because they just won't go to anybody else but us.
But because we've got a long-term relationship with this customer, and they've gone through various managers over the time as well, it's just a standard thing.
We've made it simple. We found out what their drive is, what's important to them, And we do that on every time, and every time we do it, we always over deliver because we factored that in. And they have a set parameters, and we're not going to bore you with that. We've identified it, and we deliver that in spades every time.
Remember, money isn't the option, isn't the problem with companies. Time is, and reliability, professionalism. Yeah, if they can trust you to turn up, get the job done with no hassle, no drama.
Yeah.
And just get it done again and again and again, they'll never go anywhere else.
I mean, as an example, this particular customer, the whole event that we do...
Always red, by the way, for the Perriers, always red.
The full decor and the date, the full organisation is done from one text message.
Yes.
This probably is about 2 lines long.
Yes.
That's how we've boiled it down to that one text message comes to us, and it's like, I want this, and all the bits of information.
Installed this date.
Done.
Right, done.
One message back saying, okay, done.
Yeah.
And that's it, because we've built that level of trust. Now they don't want to go anywhere else because it's just too complicated. It's just too time consuming. We've made it too easy for them.
Why do they want to risk using somebody else? Why do they want to risk having to take on a new thing? That's why it's much harder to gain a new customer than it is to keep them.
Getting that customer took something.
Yes.
That was the challenge, and that took showing decor in another venue that they could have and sneaking it in and then building that trust up. That's what did it. So as Keith's saying, it's once you've got them, if you look after them properly and deliver it as you do.
Why go to the hassle? If they like you, they buy from you. So true. It is people by people first, and it is delivering the confidence and the trust. And if it's a one-off purchase, like say for instance a wedding, generally because you only get married 3 or 4 times in your life, but they've got to have confidence that you're not going to mess up their special day. So the more you can deliver confidence straight away by talking about venues, by talking about other suppliers as well. So who's doing your flowers, who's doing your hair, who's doing your makeup, who's providing the groom, all that sort of stuff.
Wedding coordinators was another one we looked after a lot. I know we talked about they're an important one to talk to.
Yeah.
But we always had a little sort of sub file on that coordinator, important key dates. If they had a child, when was their birthday? Something that, or if it was their birthday, we could pick up on that bits of information. We had that because quite often, if it was something we could do, we would drop them off a birthday balloon for the coordinator.
Like say, for instance, one of the local ones to us is Batman Crazy.
Totally.
Of course, we don't have the Qualitix, or didn't have the Qualitix Batman bubble available in the UK, but when we were visiting over there one time, we managed to pick one up, brought it back, and give it to him as a special thing. And because it had the story behind it, and he'd been in our thoughts, it was brilliant. But the thing is that we've had a great relationship with this guy for a lot of years, and we've worked together on a lot of weddings over those years. So why not go that extra mile?
Exactly.
That it takes nothing really. But it means the world.
We get so much more back for that as well. What's this? Yes. So did a successful wedding fair in our area many years ago. Only it was so good that mainly French drove a few hours to see that event result. Yeah.
It's finding out. It's because when we get some stats from time to time about how many customers actually arrive at events and things, and it's like, yes, but how many are actually your customer?
Yeah, and it's just really that point, Luke. We've drilled down on that one, and we've been approached by so many wedding fairs, and they said, we could do this. And in fact, 9 times out of 10, it's, we will let you have a stand for free, but we'd like some decor for the stage. And you think, well, okay, that seems fair.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. But actually, could you tell me a bit about your customers? Where are your customers coming from? The attendees to the fair, where are they coming from? What's their sort of requirements, where they going to be? And actually, this is not for us because your customers are not our customers, so we're going to pass. But yeah, we've definitely experienced that.
Yeah,
but don't be afraid to say.
Michelle from Piney Europe.
Hey, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Great advice. My tip would be to spend time working on the types of questions you want to ask a prospective customer. Good questions and listening are key to sales. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's having that plan in advance. And as we said earlier as well, looking at when you've got this list of prospects to approach, you've got that initial list perhaps, but actually after you've talked to number 1 and number 2, you'll really refine what sort of questions get a good response and what maybe fall flat. So don't be afraid to have the list of questions and actually adapt them. It's not like you're going to approach all 20 prospects at once.
Yeah.
Do 1, 2, learn from them, and then improve as you go.
So think about your list as well. So don't necessarily go for the biggest and the best straight away. If you're new to it, go to some of the lower ones. That's like I'm not.
Or further away ones.
Yeah. So
you more on the outside.
You get more practice,
of
and you
where
get more.
Your area is. So if you did get them, great. But if you didn't get them, they're at the further, because most people tend to go to the closest first, and then
the biggest and the best.
Yeah, and then you've actually lost and missed the opportunity of the ones that are absolutely on your doorstep, or absolutely the biggest and the best. But learn from some of the smaller ones, the likes of, let's say, the dealerships.
Yeah.
Ford, Mercedes, Audi. All the main dealers, they're used to this. They're used to someone knocking on their door every day, and they're very good at closing you down. So learn on some of the smaller ones.
Yes.
Try and cut your teeth there.
Kerry is saying there that she's making deliveries while she's listening. I hope that's balloon deliveries and you're not a midwife.
But if you are a midwife, names
careful.
are available.
Yes. And thanks for watching Q Corner at the same time. We know who you are, Kerry, by the way. We just messing.
Great stuff.
Right. Okay. We've ran over. It's an hour and 20.
No,
We've
Keith,
got,
you haven't. Did we get everything shown? Was there
I
any?
think we did.
Yeah, we had those ones.
We did. If you do have any questions, any follow-up or anything like that, please send us a message. Oh, we've got one more thing that we have to do.
Yeah. But one of the other things you can do now is we're setting up this imaginary business, but use that map tool. If you're in the US, great one to use. Jump on there, put in your zip code, and start having a look at what you've got around you.
Yes.
And are you tapping into that? Are you selling what you could be selling
to the right people?
To the right people.
Because when we started, we thought that high-end bespoke weddings was what we were all about, and we found out that that's not what happens in our area, and we were going to have to spend a lot of time traveling. So we switched over to
searching for companies that weren't there.
Yeah. So we went to birthdays and babies, and with corporate work as well. But birthdays and babies is our main bread and butter.
Because we're more residential. We have businesses that are close to us, but we don't have the head office.
Yes.
So we've got a big call center, we've got a big office building, but their head office is London, so they don't do or are interested in any of those conversations. They don't book any of that.
Yeah.
However, you've got 380 people who work there who all have a birthday.
Absolutely.
And they've all got family members. So that's what worked for us, was finding what suited us in the area. So we adapted because of what was around us. Now, the other choice was move.
Yes.
If you want to be a certain type of business and you don't have the customers where you are, either target and commute
to that area,
or
move
the business to there. And if that's not an option for you, then that's when you have to look at the stats that you have, who's in your area, and adapt your business accordingly. And that's exactly what we did. We were not what we intended to start as, but we love what we're doing because we prefer to be where we are, catering to the customers we've got, rather than looking for ones that don't exist in our area.
But before we go, we do have one last thing that we have to do.
We do. We have this.
It's the balloon joke!
Now,
due to popular demand.
His mum asked.
No, due to popular demand, you guys have been loving it. Appreciate the comments, guys.
Just so you know, two things. One, he's been working on this all week to the detriment of the stats that we should have been preparing. Just going to say it. And the second one is, it's
a balloon joke. You guys wanted it.
No, I've got a soundbite. Okay, I've got a soundbite for a bad joke. And in anticipation, I've not done a good one.
This is great. This one, honestly.
So if we have it,
this is superb.
If it's a nay from me, I'm not listening to participation from the audience. If it's a nay from me, we get the bad.
It's the best bit. Right, we've got to do this, otherwise we'll be here till 1:30. Okay, so here we go, right?
No pressure.
Ready?
Okay, 1 second, serious face.
Here we go. Why?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the premise of not laughing. I'm serious. I can do this.
Why?
All week, this.
Why? He's laughing already.
But not the joke.
It's good.
It's not. I haven't heard it.
Why did the singing balloon visit the cactus?
I'm not laughing at it. I'm trying to not laugh. I don't know. Why did the singing balloon visit the cactus?
Yes. Because he wanted to be a pop star. Pop star. Come on, guys. Come on. It's fantastic. There we go. Right. And with that, I think it's time for us.
I think you should know your audience.
I know my audience. Honestly, I've got a fan club for the balloon joke. You guys love it. We know. It's true. You send us the messages. Appreciate it. Thanks.
It was from you.
Shut up.
Oh, look, even YouTube stopped Ella laughing. There you go, Ella. We'll let you on.
There we go. Fantastic. Everybody loved that joke. Right. It's time. Oh, no, not with the monkeys and the hands.
Alfred, great use of the emoji. Well done. Thank you so much.
Right. It is time for us to go. We've had a fantastic time spending with you this last half an hour that ended up in an hour and a half.
If there are any questions, feel free to reach out. We'd love to hear your thoughts and on how you get on with those stats as well.
Yes, absolutely. And we shall see you in 2 weeks' time, I believe. Sure. If you are a rock star, watch out, because there's going to be another video hitting soon with
Alex Hernandez
and Nelly. Okay, bye-bye for now. Take care. Have fun.
See you soon.